to a new video. This time I will be talking about some hobbies I picked up the last few months that I think you might enjoy. The first thing I really enjoyed doing is painting ceramics or pottery painting. I went to some kind of workshop in the city where I live. She has a lot of options you can choose from, such as plates or egg holders, even a vase or bowls or things your pet can eat from. She has a lot of options and you pick one or two, it depends on how much time you spend on your first item. And then it's time to sketch your drawing. And eventually when the plate or whatever you choose is baked and glazed, the pencil lines will be gone, so you won't be able to see them. The first time I went to her place, I painted a bowl. The second time I went was around Christmas and I painted a plate with a Christmas car on top of it and a Christmas tree, so it was really cute. And this time I chose tiles, so you can hang them on your wall or you can use them as coasters. If you don't have the option to do a workshop or something like I just mentioned in your hometown, you can always do it yourself at home or with friends. You just have to get some paint, and I think you can order it online, that stays on the plate and made for ceramics. So that's also a very cozy crafting afternoon you can do with a friend or on your own. The second hobby I want to talk about is knitting. I have got some kind of package for Christmas, and it has instructions on how to knit the sweater that was on the pictures. My mom also knitted the same sweater at the same time, and she knows a lot more about knitting than I do, so it was really helpful to have her by my side when I didn't understand something. But in the end I think the sweater was pretty easy, and I presumed that it would be more difficult than it actually was. I really enjoy doing the same movement over and over again with the knitting. It really suits my mind, and sometimes when I'm knitting I'm watching a show that I really like, or I put on some music and it's really, it relaxes me a lot. So I would definitely recommend trying knitting if you haven't tried it before. Something I also want to recommend is baking, and you can go as complex as you want with baking. I haven't cooked something in a very long time, and that's why I wanted to start ease back into baking. So I made a red fruits and apple crumble, and it was very yummy and it was very quick and easy. So it definitely motivated me to try to bake more and try more complex things in the future. In September I started to learn how to sew, and that's the next hobby I want to talk about. Learning how to sew was one of those hobbies again that felt really daunting to me, and I had a sewing machine since 2020 I think, and I thought I would be able to follow YouTube tutorials and try to understand things on my own and sew things on my own, but it turned out that it was too complicated for me, and the machine ended up on the attic and I didn't use it as much as I wanted to initially. But then I learned how to sew in September, and we already did some more easy projects, I would say, to start with, but in the end I felt it was still pretty difficult because I didn't understand a lot about it. One of the projects I did was an apron. In the beginning I thought it would be a really simple project, but it turned out I feel like everything I've sewn is more complex than I initially thought it would be. Another project I started with is sewing a bag. I actually have sewn two already, and they are big enough to put your groceries in or when you go to the library, and it was a really fun project, and I think I will be definitely trying it again in the future, maybe make some more bags for summer. So if you think sewing is daunting, I would advise you to watch a lot of YouTube tutorials and try to search on Etsy for some beginner-friendly patterns you can follow, and maybe try to find a creator that also uploads videos alongside with the patterns. I would definitely recommend to search on Etsy for some patterns. That's it for my suggestions for today. I hope you find them a little bit inspiring. I really enjoyed doing them the last few weeks, so I hope they can bring you some joy or inspiration. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time. Bye!